Hi, name's Omar, and I'm currently studying Science of Communication. I know, Science of Communication might not be a huge thing to study, but hey, I love it. And in the last second semester, I've studied theories of communication, and today I'm going to explain to you my top 3 favorite of theories in Science of Communication.
Social penetration might sound a little harsh, but it's actually a theory that describes a pattern in a relationship development. Now, before we get any deeper into the theory, let's discuss the assumptions. The first one is that relational communication between people started on quite a shallow level. The second one is that related with predictability is that a progress in relationship is quite systematic and is suspected that a few people in this world might be having difficulties with this particular problem. The third one is that it is related to the idea of the penetration belongs in a relational development and can cause dissolution or transgression. And lastly, self-expression is the core of relationship development. In this theory, it is emphasized that a relationship is created from an early conversation that started as general into specific, which shows that social penetrations comes in 2 dimensions, which are breadth and depth. Breadth itself can be divided into 2 kinds, which are breadth of the topic, which refers to the quantity of the topic being discussed in a relationship, and breadth of time, which refers to the amount of quality time spent in a relationship. Now, depth itself refers to the level of intimacy that guides the discussion to the topic. In social penetration comes a unique analogy called the onion theory. The onion theory explained that a human personality are very complex like an onion created by layer by layer. The outside layer, called the public image, is the outermost layer of a person that is purposely shown to other person for the first time. And the deeper you go into the layer, the more hidden it becomes to strangers except people that they're really close to. And then there is the reciprocity of the disclosure of a person. Now, think of it when we compare ourselves talking with strangers and talking with our family. We prefer to show our true self with the closest people and only give great first impressions to strangers because it can ultimately affect our self-image. I love my face. Not too good, not too bad, just yeah. You know what else do I love? Face negotiation theory. This theory is considered to be multifaceted, combining the research of intercultural communication, conflict, decency, and face work. The face negotiation theory has the cross-cultural appeal and implementations. This is because Ting Toomey, the person who conceived the theory, focused on several populations with different cultures, namely the Japanese, South Koreans, Taiwanese, Chinese, and the Americans. Ting Toomey emphasized that people with different cultures has its own worries regarding the face of other people. This concerns is what leads them to solve conflict with their own different ways. Now, this theory also has its own assumptions, which are personal identity is important in interpersonal interactions and individuals from different cultures and are doing negotiations with different approaches and ways. The second one is that conflict management are mediated with face and cultures. And lastly, certain actions could actually threaten the image of a person who shows them. Now, face can be universally divided into 2 needs. Positive face, which is the need to be liked or favored by the closest people in our lives, and negative face, which is the need to be independent and unbound. After all the face talk, we should now move on to the face work, which are actions that are used to face needs and wants regarding the personal face or others. Face work can be divided into 3 types, which are wise face, which is a level where an individual respects other autonomy, and then solidarity face work, which is accepting others as a member of its group. And lastly, acceptance face work, which involves the effort to minimize mistakes and maximizes compliments for other people. Speaking of cultures, there are 2 types of cultures in face work, namely individualism and collectivism. Collectivism emphasizes on group value instead of individuals. They also held the importance of teamwork and viewing themselves as a part of group. Oh, and they love to communicate with high context communications, or basically small random talks. Individualism, on the other hand, are the polar opposite. They emphasize on individual value, self-initiative, independence, expression, and privacy. And unlike the collectivistic people, they don't like small talks. Written by Marshall McLuhan in 1962 in his article The Gutenberg Galaxy, The Making of Typographic Man, technology determinism theory describes the role of media and its communication process that influence perception, emotion, and human value. The basic idea of this theory is changes that happens in a variety of ways in communication can develop a pattern of existence in humanity itself. McLuhan mentioned that communication technology can affect human life and other forms of communication. Technology can shape everyone to adjust their minds, behavior, and other life agenda. Lastly, the order of society is formed based on the ability of people to use technology, which means that technology is ultimately decisive in shaping the human life. McLuhan also thought that our cultures are formed based on how we communicate. There are 3 stages of how devices of media shape or affects the human life, which are discovery in communication technology, changes in different kinds of communication, and devices to communicate. McLuhan explained that media can alter perception and organizes the human life and influence the human perceptions regarding the world. The most famous phrase of McLuhan is global village, which is an idea that explains how media unifies the world in terms of politics, economy, social, and even cultural system. This theory just shows how our life are so dependent to technologies. Our life can alter in the snap of our fingers whenever new technologies of communications are introduced or reinvented. So, that is all the top 3 favorite of my favorite theories in theory of communication. I hope you guys liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.